It's 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, and somewhere in between in the rest of our nations. And we are so glad that you have joined us for the Virtual Zone Summit 2021. Please welcome our MC for this evening, past District Governor Sherry Chamberlain.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Good evening, everyone. A special thank you to Bruce and Sue Golson and Liz Yeats for the behind the scenes work that they have been doing for these 3 days. I am Sherry Chamberlain, past Governor, District 5060. I reside in Western Canada, in BC, in a city called Kamloops. Together tonight, we are connecting in so many ways. Over a drink, over cooking with John, a few laughs with Chris Wells, and through our Rotary Fellowship. So put your seatbelts on as we take you through a very fast-paced, exciting evening. And we are going to entertain you for 3 nights. And we're going to start with our incoming Rotary Director-elect and Chair for this summit, Drew Kessler. Drew is the Vice President for the M&T Bank, a Rotarian since 2001 at the age of 20. Count this, he has 5 children and resides in Hopewell Junction, New York. A very loud welcome to our engaging Director-elect Drew Kessler.
Good evening and welcome to Together We Can Connect. This is a really awesome 3-night opportunity that we have that Director and Vice President of Rotary International, Valerie Wafer, has put together for us. I get to kick off the show with making an awesome cocktail for us to enjoy to really have a festive evening. So my hope is you will join me in putting together a Rotary cocktail focusing on what makes us tight, what makes us strong, and that's our blue and gold colors. So we're going to start off with UV Blue. This is the finest quality raspberry vodka you can find. If you can't find UV Blue, feel free to find any blue beverage. But we're going to start off with 2 ounces of UV Blue. We are then going to go to our lemon yellow drink. We're going to go 1 ounce there. When you already see our cocktail coming to form, a little simple syrup. That would be sugar water, club soda, and we top it off with a lemon garnish. Now, doesn't that look like a great Rotary cocktail? So I'm going to take this opportunity to ask everybody to raise a glass, regardless of what you have in front of you, in the name of Rotary, whether it's water, a beer, a wine, or a Rotary cocktail. And please join me in saying thank you. Thank you to all of you for all that you've done in the name of Rotary. Thank you to all of you for what you're currently doing in Rotary. And most of all, thank you for all that you're going to do in the name of Rotary. Cheers.
Cheers.
I am back with drink in hand. My hope is everybody is drinking on something at this point. This is really going to be an awesome program, both today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And really, I'm truly honored and privileged that our Vice President and Director, Valerie Wafer, asked me to be part of this program and part of this event. So thank you very much, Valerie. I have this opportunity to introduce Valerie. Her and I have been together for now nearly a decade as we are classmates. And back in 2011, we came on to our first event where we were paired together, and that was in Boston, Massachusetts at a Zone Institute. And really early on in our relationship, we knew we were going to be working together quite frequently over the next coming years. And it's really been an amazing ride and run. And I couldn't think of a better person to follow in the role that I'm going to be taking on next. And it's extremely big shoes to fill with what Valerie has left me, as she's an amazing individual, an incredible person, and even a better Rotarian. So Valerie has been in Rotary since the year 2005. And with that, she brings a perspective that I think very few can or really have, in that through her work in her vocation, as well as her work within this organization, she brings a perspective that is inclusive. And Valerie has been talking about the concept of diversity, equity, inclusion, quite frankly, before at least myself, and I'm assuming many others, even knew what the abbreviation DEI is or was. And it's through that work, Valerie has been asked to chair the Rotary International Task Force for DEI. So it's very rare that our zones, our world would have such a senior leader that not only is a vice president, not only is a director, but she's also the chair of the DEI committee. It, as I mentioned, has been an absolute pleasure to work with Valerie over the past decade, and I thank her for all the opportunities she's provided me. And without further ado, I'd like to officially please join me in welcoming a very loud, ruckus Zone 2832 welcome to our International Vice President, Valerie Wafer, to officially open up our Zone Summit. Together we can.
Thank you, Drew, so much. It is such a pleasure to not only start working together 10 years ago, but know that, we are still working together and will continue. So thank you very much. I don't have a blue gold drink, but I have some Fresca. I'll have a glass of wine maybe later. Hello, everyone. You know what? Tonight is all about being together. And we know this past 19 months has proven to be one with many challenges. And through it, it's become so apparent that our Rotary family has never been so important in our lives. And for that reason, tonight's theme is Together We Can Connect. We need to hold on to these opportunities to be together. And although I would have loved to see each of you in person, and I'm excited that we'll have that chance really soon, it's coming up, the committee really felt that we needed to kick off our 3-night summit with some fun, some reconnections, and a chance to try to recreate some of that social aspect that we usually have the chance to participate in at our traditional in-person events. So I want to say thank you to PDG Sherry Chamberlain for being the lead on tonight's festivities. And as Sherry said, tonight is brought to you by our technical team of Liz Smith-Yeats, Sue Goldson, and Bruce Goldson. I want to thank them. This wouldn't be possible without this incredible team that we have in our zone. I want to take a moment to thank Summit Chair Drew, who has been on this journey with me about these events for the last 4 years. Because from the beginning, Drew shared the vision and we put together an incredible lineup of in-person events that unfortunately did not come to fruition during my time as Zone 2832 Director. But I am absolutely thrilled that that work that we did and that vision that we had is going to continue. And Rotary International Director-elect Drew will continue to offer, and you're going to hear more about this, the summits of Life on Land and Life Below Water, which is just going to continue our vision and make that happen. So very, very exciting. You know, the pandemic has opened up doors to be able to virtually travel the world, to be able to network, to be able to build new partnerships and hear from incredible speakers. And many of us have had the chance to experience Rotary outside our club, in our community, and on this virtual platform. And the next 3 nights are a great example of this. Together, over the next few nights, we are over 1,000 Rotarians registered, Rotarians, Rotaractors, interactors, and friends here to connect. And I know there's a few watch parties going on too, so that's really exciting. So I want to say thank you to each of you. Thank you for being with us here tonight. Thank you for being leaders. Thank you for being my Rotary family. And most of all, thank you for being compassionate, caring humans, taking care of each other and our communities. Our challenge has been to stay connected with the world outside of our front door, with the lives on the other end of those Zoom calls, and to continue to be engaged in service that touch both people at home and at the other side of the planet as we serve to change lives. I'm going to have a chance to speak to you further over the next couple of nights, and you want to be with us as together we can inspire and together we can celebrate in the next 2 nights. So tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to reconnect with friends. We're just going to shake it up a little bit. Hang on a minute. I want to do something really fun here. Let me make a Zoom call to my friend Jennifer. Let's see how she's doing. Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I love the fact we're both leaning in to like have that personal conversation, right?
I know, with a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Actually,
just
I've never had a
water.
cup of coffee. I know, mine's water too.
And so you're in Chicago. Is this your office?
I am sitting here in my president-elect office and jury rigged it around a little bit so I could stick a flag there, and otherwise there's a lot of windows and it's kind of all washed out, but really glad to kind of be in this space right now. And you're in your funky space. I love that background.
Yeah, well, we're all in the comfort of our own home, but I love it when you're sitting at your desk. I know there's windows behind you, but I love the fact that the Canadian flag is behind you too.
Let's do a
So
little.
super proud. So super proud of that.
There we go. Right up.
Love it. Love
Yep.
it.
And this time next year, it'll be flying out front of the building.
Goodness, I can't wait for that day and that picture. It's so exciting. Everyone is like, so excited that Jennifer Jones is going to be our president next year. And of course, that you're one of ours from our zones, and the first woman president, the right leader at the right time. We're so pumped. And you must be like really busy. This is a huge planning time, isn't it?
Well, who isn't busy? I think that's the hallmark of all of our lives right now, that we're all going a million miles an hour. And especially right now in this, in between time between virtual and some in-person things starting to kind of make themselves known to us. And I don't know, I'm speaking at an event this weekend, actually, the first time I'm going to speak to an event. And I'm kind of feeling a little like, I don't know, haven't been on a stage in 2 years. It's like, I feel like everybody needs to be in these little boxes still. This has become a comfort zone.
I know.
But,
well, and we have to put high heels on too. But you know what? It reminds me.
Even thinking about that.
It reminds me of your butterfly coming out of the cocoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I talk about like, I feel like I've been in hibernation for 19 months.
Wow.
And you're right. I mean, I was at an event on Sunday for World Polio Day. It was so surreal to be in a restaurant. We had to show our vaccination status. But, and last night I was at a 4-club cluster meeting. So it's really starting to feel great. And it's funny because we know this journey to leadership feels like it's taking forever, and then it's almost over. And I can't believe that, I've got like 6 or 7 months left in this journey of being director, and it's been an incredible journey. But I'm looking forward to getting back out there a little bit more.
Well, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you. And I know everyone on this call feels exactly the same way. You have been rocking your role as the Vice President of Rotary this year. Not only the energy that you have put into our diversity, equity, and inclusion leadership of the task force, but then also your role leading us. It's a pretty cool time, if I may say, for female leadership from a Canada perspective, that we have a trustee, Dean Moore, sitting on the board of trustees, you as the vice president, and next year me coming in. It's kind of been a real interesting mix of time that this is all sort of converged, I guess is the word I want to use, at the same time. So really proud of what we're putting out there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And I just think that the composition of the board in general, with pretty close to gender parity, is an exciting time. We see very different conversations and leadership styles, and it's so crucial to forwarding where our organization is going, and just innovative thought and different perspectives. So yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Well, and I think that, we bring together all sorts of cultures and different groups from around the world, but isn't that, within our countries of Canada and the United States that are here together, that isn't that the best of who we are, the tapestry, that we are, the mosaic that we are as cultures, being able to bring all of that together. And I think it is we are living in interesting times for sure.
Yeah. Now, I'm excited about the future of our organization. I'm excited about the changes with Rotaract coming up in the new year. And I was out tree planting with some Rotaractors last Friday, and it was really great because they actually applied for funds from the district, and the district is really committed to having those Rotaractors on every committee and preparing them for being able to participate in global grants and district grants. And so, everywhere I turn, I'm really inspired and motivated by the changes and the conversations that are happening in our clubs and districts. The leadership is incredible. And yeah, so thank you so much for, your leadership and where you're going to take our governor class. And I'm really excited about International Assembly and all your messaging that I'm sure is just going to inspire all of us. But thanks for taking the time to have this conversation today. I love it.
I'm really glad we had a chance to just carve out a couple of minutes. And for the governors-elect who are planning to attend either the virtual or the in-person International Assembly in January, I got to tell you, I spent the last 2 days hunkered down on my couch in my cozies with my computer, writing all of the remarks and trying to find the right inspiration. And it still needs a little bit of polish, but I'm excited to be able to share some of those thoughts and some of the things that we're going to look forward to in 22 and 23. But until then, we got a lot ahead of us. So I'm going to raise my coffee/water cup in a toast to everyone in our paired zones, to your exemplary leadership, and to everyone to continue to inspire those around you over the course of the next year. And I just look forward to the journey that we're going to take in the next couple of years, both you and I together and everyone else who's on this call. So I love you.
Thank you, Jen. Your friendship means so much.
Right back at you. Cheers.
See you soon. Bye.
Wow, wonderful remarks, wonderful people. Drew, Valerie, and Jennifer, you inspire us. Thank you so much for giving us the time today. Connecting through engagement. The more we engage with others like they did in our club, on events like tonight, we continue to be motivated to do good in Rotary. So I've had the chance, as some of you may have, to engage and be inspired by our next guest speaker, Chris Wells. The ambitious, vibrant, energetic, and sometimes spewing words that may turn our heads a bit. This young man is all the way from the United Kingdom. So have you heard the term do-goodery? One day this term might be in books, and you can say you heard it right here. So the funny Chris Wells himself, our keynote Chris Wells. Take it away.
Hi, my name's Chris. I'm from Market Harbour, right in the centre of England. And a good few years ago, I was working in a school, was having a bit of a rough time of it, to be honest. Kind of didn't really know what to do with my life, didn't really know a lot of people local to the area, because it was at that weird phase where you finish university and then everybody's off doing their own things in their own lives, and they'd all moved away from the area I was in. And someone just by sheer chance introduced me to a Rotarian, and I was like, well, what the bloody hell's a Rotarian? And he was like, well, Chris, let me tell you, we do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I think I vaguely heard about this. You're the old people that fill at restaurants, right? And you ring a bell and do stuff. And he goes, not exactly. And he told me the real story, the real things that all of Rotary do. And he says, you should look at starting a Rotaract club. And I went, okay, what the bloody hell's that? And he says, it's whatever you want to do, just go out. So what we did, I got like a load of my friends together, and we essentially went out and started collecting tinned foods and other things for a homeless charity. And we all met at one of our friends' houses, and it was around Christmas time. And here we all are gathered together, just like having a really good time. A lot of us didn't even know each other at that point, and we were just having a really nice time doing this stuff. And one thing led to another, and Rotaract Market Harbour was born. And we became chartered and started doing that. We just kind of went out and started doing lots of little things, started going out and doing sponsored head shaves and helping out at other events and running our own little events, which I'll come on to in a minute, and getting really involved in the community and growing and doing all of this amazing stuff. And our membership was growing, and it was going beautifully. And overall it was just such a fantastic time, and it really kind of found that meaning, especially for someone like me who just felt very kind of lost and didn't know what to do. It was just quite a nice easy barometer to just kind of go make the world a little bit better. Just go do that. What a great thing to spend your spare time doing. And one of the tricks that we found, and this is my top tip, my top secret tip, if you ever, secret, it's not a secret, my top tip, if you ever want to start a Rotary Club yourself or get other people involved to start a Rotary Club, is find a thing to always meet about. So what we started doing at Rotary Market Harborough was we started having quizzes. We started with a Christmas quiz, and one thing led to another, and we started always doing these quizzes year in, year out, and it was going really, really well. And it basically meant like, I just also realized you might not know what a quiz is. A quiz. I'm professional. A quiz in zones 28 and 32. They're like trivia nights. You probably do know what a quiz is. I don't know why I'm saying that. You, because sometimes on the Zoom chat when I've done this speech before, people are like, oh, what's a quiz? But I'm going to pretend that someone did that. Yes, David. Thank you so much, David. Great question. Yeah, so that's what a quiz is. I quiz master. I go out, ask some questions. We go and do that. And we charge people £2 each to kind of come and join. And every event, we would raise about £50-60 to a charity of our choice or towards foundations. So that was a really kind of nice thing that we started doing. And like I said, we had loads. We started doing more and more. And as we went on, and I started to try and get more people involved to join the clubs and go out, people would always ask, well, what, you do this road track thing. Or say, oh, I can do the cool black and white thing. They'll be like, hey, Chris, you do this road track thing. What actually is it? And I'd be like, well, you know what? I can tell you exactly what it is. To me, we go out in the community and we just kind of do good. We make the world a better place. We do good. And as it went on, I realised there was an even better term. There's an even better term for what we do, as you've probably seen, because that's normally the name of what this speech is. It was what I like to call do-goodery. That's it. General do-goodery. If you could summarise in Rotaract and Rotary, all the things that we do is we do good. We go out, we make the world a better place. Do-goodery. That's it. That is the most important thing to me. To be honest, everything else is just noise. And because of the size of some Rotary clubs and some Rotary clubs, I absolutely get you need the bureaucracy and you need the presidents and things. And we do have that, obviously, you need those structures and it helps. But if it just came down to it, the biggest, most important thing to me about everything we do as Rotary, as a group, as a people, is just do-goodery. That's it. And I love it. And I've got people to shout this out and they've got to do it. And that's it. That is our barometer. So anytime we have a meeting, anytime we do anything, we ask ourselves, is it putting more good in the world? Is it do-goodery? Is it do-goodery or is it not? Any argument, any things. It's like, okay, is it do-goodery or is it not? Is it bringing us closer to the do-goodery or further away? Because otherwise, it's not really relevant to me. Because that's everything that we do. Life's too complicated and goes on with all the things like that. And at the time, we didn't, and especially in England, a lot of people didn't really know what Rotaract or anything was. And I got to go, it's do-goodery, it's this. But if I can just rewind the clock back now, back to a time where televisions looked like this, the 1980s and 1990s, where televisions looked like this and people looked like this, across Great Britain and Ireland, there were approximately 25,000 Rotaractors. Just Rotaractors across the whole country. And, I am sorry for the gross photo, it was a different time. That was just the way things were. So now if we contrast how many Rotaractors across Great Britain and Ireland that there were measured, compare that to I pressed the wrong button. I'm a professional. So back in the 1980s and 1990s, there were 25,000 Rotaractors. Let's contrast that to when I started in 2015. There were approximately 1,000 Rotaractors. Just look at the difference between those two numbers, and you're probably asking why. And I get it. I feel exactly the same way. And this is my opinion. This is what I think. This is from talking with a few other people and seeing all of, having conversations. One of the big things I realised that hadn't happened over the time was people started aging up. And at the time, Rotary was just going really well, riding high. So they were like, yeah, we don't, let's just stay away from Rotaract, let them do their own thing. And then Rotaract started aging up, and then Rotary was aging up. And they were like, nah, I don't want to do that. Or there was, I know some Rotary clubs at the time especially had, you had to turn up to a certain amount of meetings and other things, a few people had told me. So people started aging up and they went off to other clubs, or they just disappeared in time, and Rotary clubs started aging up. And across Great Britain and Ireland, there are some Rotary clubs whose average age is over the age of 70, which is a significant thing when you think about it, when you think about the way time and everything moves on. That's just the nice way of saying it. Let's just move on with that. So contrast that though, when I first started, back in 2015 when we started, there was one other Rotaract club in the district, in District 1070 where I am in the middle of England. And yeah, there was just one, and there was like 3 people, and they'd been in it for a while. They were kind of tired. They were like, oh yeah, we're going to try and raise some money. And that was it. Across the whole of the district, there was nothing else. And then what happened was, slowly but surely, we started, and I became DRR. I became in charge of the district, DRR's district Rotaract representative, and I started going out, and I started going and getting involved with all the other clubs and helping them grow, and we started going out and doing more and more amazing things in the community. And now we have 5 or 6. I've actually lost count. Just that's how many we have now. I have lost count of how many Rotaract clubs we have across the country, but now we have at least 5 across the country, even more so, but across the district there was 5 or 6 now, and we're growing and we're doing even more things. And look at all of this, look at all of this stuff going on. This is all good things that have gone into the world that wasn't there before, and that to me is textbook, absolute textbook do-goodery. I pressed the wrong button. Absolutely textbook good do-goodery. And one of the big differences, one of the big things that changes from the way things were to the way things are now is remembering that do-goodery works both ways. We're both doing the same thing. We're both on the same bike going to the same place. Look at us. Look at us go. We're both on the same bike going towards the same place. That is the most important thing to me. That same place, that same thing that we're doing is do-goodery. It's that barometer. It's that measurement, that everything that we do, that we are doing together and going through, it's all about do-goodery, and we're all in this together. And as soon as you remember that, as soon as you remember that we are both on that bike, that we are both moving on and going out and doing that stuff, it's all about the do-goodery, and we do this together. The way that we did it across District 1070 was we formalised it. We had what we like to call, I'm going to get this right, I'm going to be all professional. We had what we like to call the ambassadors. So these were literal people in Rotary whose sole job it was to be our point of contact in Rotaract. These were the people that if we were in a pinch, we're like, oh, we want to run a quiz and like we can't find a room. What do we do? What's insurance? Do we need to worry about that? Health and safety? Is that a thing? Those are the people we talk to. We talk to our ambassadors, our links between Rotaract and Rotary. These amazing people then became that link between the two things, between Rotaract and Rotary. We're working together on all those things, and we call them ambassadors. I like to call them ambassador do-gooders, or when you think about it a bit more, ambassador dog-gooders. And the metaphor carries on. And one of the big things as well is that this metaphor works really well as well, was that a lot of Rotaractors, I especially am as well, this is one of the reasons this is pre-recording and things, is that younger professionals, work hours, especially for people of my generation and below now, are significantly higher than they've ever been. The amount of hours put into work and other things goes on for a long time, but we still want to do good. People still want to do good and do amazing things. And a lot of Rotarians, they are retired, they may have a little bit more spare time and also more confidence and wisdom. That's the other way I think about it. That's not me being nice as well. It is 100% true. Way more confidence and wisdom. So, when a Rotaractor or someone, a millennial or younger wants to go, oh, I want to put on an event, they'll feel overwhelmed. They go, oh, I can't do it. I don't know. I give up. But with a Rotaractor, they're like, no, I've put on an event. I've put on a conference. I've put on this. I've done this. And actually being able to, mine is the wrong word, being able to work with those people has really kind of helped expand the kind of things that we can do from just working together by doing that. Ties in with the theme of your whole thing, isn't it? Together we connect better together. That's what it is, working together towards that one thing that I've already been talking about for a while now, is do-goodery. That's it. That's what it is. Another really helpful thing that this metaphor helps show is that sometimes, especially in a lot of clubs where they're significantly busy, there might be the odd thing that Rotarians are making, but they just need some more, feet on the ground. People who can stand up for longer than an hour, going out, doing all of that. They need more help with that. Brilliant. There are Rotaractors that can do that. One of my favourite bits of service that we've been doing over the last year has been helping out at COVID clinics. And the way that we do it is we just need crowd control. So our National Health Service, normally they have a member of staff who could be doing way better things. Instead, they have to have them, making sure everyone's distanced socially and they're going in the right door and solve all of that. Instead, that now goes to a Rotarian and a Rotaractor. And it's like a 90-minute shift. And we just have so many, we can just switch out those shifts. And it's my favourite thing. Just 1 or 2 weekends a month on a Saturday morning. We normally get the first shift at 7:30. One Saturday morning, me and my Rotaractor friend, we go and we just guard the door. We help and do the crowd control. That's it. Simple, easy little bit of service, 90 minutes out your week. Do that a couple of times and you are helping the National Health Service. What an amazing act of do-goodery. What an amazing way to bring the world just to make it a slightly better place. And these are just some of the other charities as well that wouldn't have had wouldn't have had our do-goodery put towards it. These are some of the charities that we as a district have been helping and putting towards. These are all acts of do-goodery that have been made better by us all working together. One of my favourite stories, which is a personal one to me, is I'm just trying to get the right button. I'm going to press the right button in a minute. Is a charity called Different Strokes. So Different Strokes is a charity for younger victims of stroke, which is anyone under working age, which in this economy is pretty much anyone. Younger victims of stroke is a lot more common than you think there are. There are people who had strokes at 16. There are people who had strokes in their early 20s, and often they find themselves disabled and feel isolated. And Different Strokes sets up support groups, peer-to-peer support groups, so everyone can kind of discuss their experiences, because often they start isolating themselves. Sometimes they feel embarrassed. They don't want to go out. And one of our Rotarians, in fact, the first Rotarian I ever met was like, you should look at working with these because there's not a support group in the area. So that's exactly what we did. We worked with them and we started setting up support groups, and it started going on really, really well. And that to me is the most perfect image of what do-goodery is. That is just making the world a slightly better place on a larger scale, because now we have Rotary, now we have those pillars going and doing that. And anytime we needed help, Rotary came and helped. They came in, they worked together, they helped us with that. So once again, when people ask, what is Rotaract? What is Rotary? It's do-goodery. It's do-goodery, do-goodery, do-goodery. And I know I'm going crazy saying that, do-goodery, but like it truly is. And having that barometer can really help, because, there was a time where this all happened. Remember this? It's still going on. And it's really difficult. And genuinely, I'm going to go black and white for drama. There were times where that was going on, and it was really hard to get out of bed in the morning. It was really hard to kind of deal with it, because you just saw so many people be ugly to each other. And this seems silly, but it's true. Like, I really struggled for a long time just kind of seeing the news. And a lot of people did start taking, just had to take breaks from the news, because it was so difficult to kind of, it felt like the world was ending. And it felt like as well people being so ugly to each other. And then I started talking to more Rotarians. We started doing these opportunities, including this speech now and me talking to you guys right now. It all came up, and all of a sudden I'm starting to see Rotarians, and I'm starting to see the amazing stuff you guys are doing. And I love that. And honestly, that was what I needed to see. That was what got me out of bed in the morning, was seeing that actually, no, not everyone's ugly to each other. And once again, do-goodery, that was our barometer. So what happened was we had to meet. So we met online. I'm doing a Zoom call. I'm not going to show you too much of a Zoom call, because you've seen a Zoom call, right? That was what our meeting was. Normally our meetings are a bit more full, but that was just quite a quiet one. That sounds like a lie, but it is actually true. We do normally have better meetings than that. Anyway, my view when I started running quizzes was this, And then what we started doing was we started doing our quizzes online. So my views from a crowd went from this to this. And we started doing online quizzes, and we started using interactive quiz sheets. We started getting help with technology using Rotarians and our connections in Rotaract to start doing this digitally and online, and we started doing them internationally, and people started getting involved from all over the world, and it was incredible. And what happened was we ended up raising more money with our online quizzes than we ever did in our in-person ones. It was amazing. It's one of the best things we ever did during COVID. We actually raised more money and did more do-goodery over COVID than not, because our eyes were focused and pinpointed on that. We are on the same bike going to the same place. Rotary got involved, Rotary got involved. We started doing this because it's all about the do-goodery. And one of the kind of things, oh, I pressed the wrong button. One of my favorite photos of all the do-goodery comes from the pre-COVID times, is this photo here. What a perfect example of Rotary and Rotaract, of do-goodery, of working together, of being on that bike. That as a Rotarian and a Rotaractor, going down a really large building. I don't know which building it is. Let's just say it's the Eiffel. It's Big Ben. They're going down Big Ben. That's definitely London down there, not somewhere in Northampton. Yep, that's Big Ben. That is a Rotaractor and a Rotarian doing something amazing, raising money for different strokes, raising thousands of pounds. By the way, the guy on the left-hand side, the Rotarian, that's that guy from the photo. This is actually a photo of old Rotaract club back in the day. And now look at them together. Where else do you see these kinds of people of these two generations doing things together, doing things at the same time? Where else do you meet people of different generations to be able to actually say they're my friends? There are loads of Rotarians who I can honestly say are my friends now. People who are literally double my age or older and all those things, and obviously and younger and all of that as well. But like, where else do you create those connections, really? Work, maybe family. That's it. That's the only place you get to meet those people. And those people you meet all share those values, all share the same values. And we all know what those values are now. It's do-goodery. That's it. The best thing ever. That's what I truly believe Rotaract, Rotary, and everything all is. It's all about the do-goodery. So if you can take one thing back from all this, it's just remembering it's all about the do-goodery.
Wow, I love the metaphors that he used. Chris, you are amazing. Connecting together. You know, the more we engage and listen to people like Chris, the more we are going to connect and be inspired to even do more together. Chris, you took us on a roller coaster and we were wowed. We promise to continue your do-goodery passion in all that we do in Rotary. We appreciate your time you gave us tonight. Thank you so much. So folks, are you hungry? Hey, how about a special Rotary appetizer just for us here in this room? We have John Zubak to thank for his time. He is making us something tonight from his cabin in the central interior of BC, Canada, which is near Kamloops. And if you don't know where Kamloops is, whenever I say it's close to Kelowna, people will know. Close to Vancouver, BC as well. John is a businessman and project management consultant. He has an incredible knack of bringing business people, university students, and young entrepreneurs together to collaborate and build relationships for vocational service. His hobby is cooking, and he has created many cooking videos that you can find on YouTube. Please welcome into your home, John Zubak.
Welcome, Rotarians. Thank you for joining me in the kitchen today in lovely Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada. Today we are going to make some chili lime shrimp tacos. They are simple to make and absolutely delicious. So we're going to get started by making up the taco shells, and we're going to do this with wonton wrappers. You can find wonton wrappers at pretty much any grocery store. They're in the fresh area, sometimes in the produce department. After you've laid out your wonton wrappers, we're just going to coat them with a little bit of oil. After you've coated one side with oil, just turn the wonton wrappers over, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. After the second side is coated, just hint them with a pinch of salt, a little bit of seasoning on the top. The easiest way to make up taco shells is to put the wonton wrappers into some mini muffin cups. Now I'm using a silicone muffin cup because they're wonderful, easy to take out. If you've got metal ones, that'll work fine. If you just have regular muffin cups, you can also make that work. You're just going to place them in the middle, and when you push them in, kind of have to fold them a little bit, make sure it goes down to the bottom, and that's just so that you got somewhere to put the shrimp and the rest of the mixture inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and place these all in. Okay, the taco shells are all ready to go. I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to put them in the oven. They're going to take 5 to 7 minutes, but I'm going to keep a close eye on them just to make sure that we don't burn them. We just want them to be crispy, maybe a little bit brown on the edges. Okay, just brought them out of the oven. They're all nice and crisp. I'm going to put them on a rack to cool. And while our wontons are cooling down, I'm going to tuck them off to the side. It's time to go ahead and get the shrimp cooked. So I've got some fresh prawns. They're deveined, ready to go. They're about a medium size of 31 to 40, which is going to fit in the shell really nicely. So we're going to start by adding a little bit of lime zest. So I zested 1 lime. We'll put that in. Maybe a couple teaspoons of oil, a bit of black pepper, pinch of salt, chili powder. I'm using ancho chili powder. You can use regular chili powder, and a squeeze of lime. Let's get it mixed around. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put them spread out on a baking tray, a little bit of parchment paper just to make sure they don't stick. They're going to go in the oven at 350 degrees as well. They're only going to take anywhere from maybe about 6-7 minutes. And what we're going to be looking for is them just to turn translucent. If anything, we want to be a little bit undercooked instead of overcooked when it comes to shrimp so they don't toughen up. So let's go ahead and get these inside the oven. And while the shrimp are cooking, we'll go ahead and we'll make our lime sour cream. I got about 4 tablespoons of sour cream in there. Going to take another lime, squeeze that in, pinch of salt, and that's it. Just going to mix it around. The shrimp have just come out of the oven. They look absolutely delectable. We're just going to transfer them over to another dish, and it'll be time to start to assemble our shrimp tacos. And now for the fun part, putting them all together and getting ready to dig in. So I'm just going to take one of the shells, and I've got some baby arugula here. Arugula is wonderful because it not only does it give it a little bit of crunch, you also get a little bit of that spice out of the arugula. So we're going to put a little bit inside the shell, and we're going to take some of this lovely lime sour cream and just put a small dollop inside. Take a shrimp, place it in the middle. Well, there you have it. Very easy and simple to make shrimp lime tacos that are absolutely delectable. So delectable, I got to try one right now. Just delicious. I can't wait until you make them at your home and give them a try. Squeeze a little lime if you want on top. Thanks for allowing me into your home this evening to share this simple and tasty appetizer recipe. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy some wonderful fellowship with your Rotarian friends.
Oh, that was so good. I think I'll wait until after to eat mine. Those are very, very fast to do. I was surprisingly surprised at how fast they were. So give those a try. I posted the replay in the chat for you as well. So thank you, John, again for donating your time. John Zubek, Project Management and Consulting. So now we're flying back over to New York with you, Drew Kessler.
Thank you, Sherry. And those really do look yummy. Looking forward to making those myself. So I don't know about you, but I am at the point where I am just really looking forward to coming together and really going to as many exotic places as I can in the name of Rotary. And really, that's what I'm looking forward to most, is the ability this coming year and hopefully in the coming months to be able to come together in the fashion that we used to know. With that spirit in mind, as Vice President Valerie mentioned before, we are replicating the events that we were going to have just a couple of years ago that unfortunately were delayed due to the current situation. We are having what we know as Life Below Water. We are having a cruise, which I'm hoping many of you have already heard about, leaving New York Harbor, going to Bermuda, followed by Life on Land, which is a symposium that's going to be in Anchorage, Alaska. two amazing venues that I'm really looking forward to. Not only are we going to be able to have probably the best scenery we'll ever have in our Rotary lives, but to really focus on two environmental sustainability topics that I find extremely meaningful and really topical in today's world. So with that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn the program over to the chairs of both events. First, we have Melissa, who is handling Life Below Water, and then she will turn it to Diane, who is doing Life on Land, to tell you a little bit about what we have in store and what we're looking forward to. Melissa, it's all yours.
Well, greetings and good evening, fellow Rotarians. Our theme today is Together We Connect, and connect we will in September of 2022. I hope to welcome you aboard the Norwegian Joy for a 5-day cruise to Bermuda from September 1st through the 6th, departing through New York City. This is your opportunity to engage in fellowship with Rotarians and other like-minded folks for fun, family, and presentations focused on sustainable development to transform our world. Our special Rotary rate gives you a whole slew of benefits, including all gratuities and service charges, all alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, unlimited dining in 6 main restaurants, special group-only cocktail hours. They have a kids club, a teens club, Broadway-style shows, go-karts, laser tag, and so much more. This ship is huge. Pricing starts at $13.75 per person. That's in US. It's roughly around $1,700 in Canadian dollars. And if we don't have a particular type of room that you're looking for, our travel partner can price that out for you. To register, you call the 877 phone number that is on your screen, or you can use the QR code and your phone will bring up the phone number for you. And a $250 in US deposit, roughly around 300 Canadian, which is refundable until February 15th. The balance is due February 15th, 2022. So I'm sorry, refundable until February 1st, and the balance is due on February 15th. So I hope that I get to hang out with you on a cruise ship for a couple of days, enjoy 2 days in Bermuda, meet great people, hear great speakers, and really connect in person. Diane, it's all yours.
Thank you, Melissa. It sounds like that's going to be really fun. And after everybody has such a good time there, you can come to Alaska. So where does your mind go when you think about a trip to Alaska? Do you dream about high snow-capped mountains or flying over vast Arctic plains, the old-growth rainforest, or the blues of our rushing waters and ancient glaciers? Alaska is all you imagine and more. Hi, I'm Diane Feges from District 5010 in the wonderful state of Alaska. With Director Valerie and Director-elect Drew's able leadership, our creative committee, we are planning a fabulous event next November in Alaska. November 3rd to the 5th, you'll see that the beauty of Alaska isn't just something you experience, it's something you take home with you. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Well, not really, not lions, but we do have Siberian tigers and lots of bears, brown, black, and white. Moose, vast landscapes, native cultures, wildlife, wild places, and wild people. Okay, I can personally vouch that the Rotarians and people here are the friendliest you'll find. Can you say mini friendship exchanges? Trips to native cultural sites, visits and rides with sled dogs, flights over Denali, and one heck of a party on Friday night. We'll cap it off with a sunset train trip along Cook Inlet and the scenic Turnagain Arm, and we often see wild moose along the way. Bring your kids and grandkids. We're going to have a Camp Rotary Alaska, which is in development as we speak. So whether you want a once-in-a-lifetime Alaska experience or just a glimpse for planning future trips, our Life on Land Summit will be the ultimate Rotary experience. We'll see you one year. Sign up, and we'll keep the sun up for you.
Thank you both, Melissa and Diane. I don't know about you, but I've been to my fair share of Rotary events, and I got to tell you, these two are really going to what I hope to be the top of the list. I'm really excited both on the hospitality of the venues, the venue cities, It's really going to be outstanding. And I don't know if you caught it, but every event that we do going forward, from at least my perspective, maybe it's because it's the troop that I bring with me, will be very family friendly. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, we will have specific programs for them, which I think can be done at all Rotary events. So I'm very much looking forward to all that's to come in the coming year. These are two events that I hope that you have at least one of them, if not both of them, on your calendar. Please give consideration. If you know of a Rotarian, because this is open to all Rotarians, this is open to everybody, but specifically the 70,000 Rotarians in both our zones, 28 and 32. This could be a tremendous opportunity and maybe the closest to their home that they'll be able to experience Rotary on a larger level. So I ask for our districts, our club presidents, get out there and please share the great works that we're putting together for this event. So before I turn, if you will, the stage over, I'd like to do a quick promotion for tomorrow night, which is lined up to be really, really awesome. We have 5 keynote speakers that are world-class, top-notch. We have a Time Magazine most influential people in the world in Dr. Tunji Fun show. We have, I think some of you have already heard Chantel Valal speak previously. She is a basketball coach who is absolutely amazing in her remarks and her inspiration. We have our very own foundation trustee, Dean Roars, who is going to provide, as mentioned earlier, a keynote address. For those who have not had the opportunity to experience Bowtie Todd Jenkins, this guy rocks. I mean, this is the epitome of what's coming up in our organization. Super awesome young leader who's going to speak to us tomorrow. And we're also going to have Stephanie Woolard, who is going to share with us about the stories of empowering women, which I think is so topical and so on point for today's world and for going forward. So I hope all of you, those of you who have friends that would like to join us, fellow Rotarians, please come online tomorrow night because it's going to be a really, really awesome show. So with that, I'd like to turn it to Peter Schultz, who's going to talk about the upcoming Zone Foundation Gala that's going to occur this February. So Peter, all yours.
Hey, thanks, Drew. I'll just share in a minute here. So I am Peter Schultz from District 5060 in Kelowna, BC. I'm just south of where Sherry is right now. Hi, Sherry, up north. And I'm the chair of our second annual fundraising gala for the Rotary Foundation. Celebrate our foundation. That's what we're calling it. Last year, we had a great time with the first ever virtual zone gala, and we raised, just shy of $200,000 with an estimated 2,000 attendees attending. So it was a lot of fun. Again, our hosts will be our own Vice President, Valerie Wafer, and Foundation Trustee, Dean Roars. We'll start the night with something different. We're gonna travel live to tour Rotarians celebrating across the zone from Alaska to Bermuda and many points in between. This will be hosted as we heard earlier. I'm a professional. I can handle this. Hosted by our own Vice President, or our own President-elect, Jennifer Jones, and our Director-elect, Drew Kessler. Once again, our MC for the night will be Jeffrey Catterett, our past director. And again, we're going to have many entertainment stars. Alex Lifeson will be visiting us again and donating another guitar for us to auction off. We're going to have the internationally acclaimed children's group, they're called One Voice. We're going to have the award-winning a cappella group, BYU Vocal Point, and the principal violinist for, there we go. The principal violinist for the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra, Francisco Falana. So tickets this year will be $120 US, which gives you a full Paul Harrison tax receipted credit of $100 US. And the best news this year is you pay no fees. Even if you want to add a donation of thousands of dollars, you'll have no fees on that. The event is live starting now with a link to the information and registration at the Zone 28 and 32 website. So I hope to see you all there, and I thank you for your attention. Back to you, Sherry. Thanks for the entire team tonight.